What is up, YouTube? That's here, and today I'm asking everyone on the internet on twitter.com to name one Pokemon that they think should get Fake Out. Fake Out's a pretty good move. The VGC meta is pretty much built around it, and I wanted to ask everyone, not just because I'm curious what Pokemon should really get Fake Out to make the game balanced, but I want to see what type of players are suggesting that broken Pokemon get Fake Out, because I want to see who actually cares about the integrity of the game and who just wants to see the world burn. You know, I remember when Incineroar got Fake Out in 2017, the whole game completely changed, flipped on its head from one Pokemon that was already usable and good getting Fake Out. So let's see some of the crazy takes everyone on Twitter comes up with. Let's see some of the crazy takes, and let's give our opinion on all of them. Also, if you guys have some Pokemon you want to see get Fake Out, leave a comment below. And without further ado, let's start this things off. I started with Malamar. I actually think the fact that they gave Gothitelle Fake Out at the start of Gen, whatever we're on right now with Sword and Shield, the fact that Gothitelle gets Fake Out, they should definitely hook up my boy Malamar with Fake Out. I think having a contrary Mon with Fake Out is not as broken as having a competitive Mon, which Gothitelle already is, right, with Fake Out. And I just think it generally would make this Pokemon a lot more usable, and I think it's such a cool Pokemon that it definitely deserves to see more play, and I think it's a great Pokemon to add Fake Out to that wouldn't completely break the game. Like I said, the gold standard is they gave it to Gothitelle and Incineroar. They could hook up my boy Malamar. So that's my vote. Let's see, we're going to scroll down. Oh, man. And I haven't seen these. I have not seen these replies. I asked this before my stream, and I have not seen these replies, but it looks like the very first reply is from my girlfriend. This is from my girlfriend. You guys can go follow her at DeathMassDivine right here, and I'm going to like this because she says Pumpkaboo. I'm always using, like, Pumpkaboo teams. You see me use Pumpkaboo a lot here, and that's just because she likes Pumpkaboo and I use Pumpkaboo, so she'll watch those videos. But Pumpkaboo, wise choice. I think the Gourgeist line getting Fake Out would be kind of cool. More Ghost Fake Outs are definitely appreciated here. You know, Sableye gets Fake Out, and having a Fake Out user that's immune to being Fake Outed itself, so that's a win in my book. Pikatrainer, one of our amazing mods, the maker of that Relicanth team, wants to see the bee. Yeah, I've never really been a fan of this thing, but I almost want to feel that anytime the Rabombi line is in a game, that game's already someone trying to win the game or cheese you, right? They're already trying to cheese you. So I actually think giving that thing Fake Out would play into so many more 50-50s that thing can do. Is it going to speed swap? Is it going to use powder? Is it going to tailwind? I've never really been a fan of that thing. I stick to the Butterfreeze. You know, this beeline can make a beeline to the B tier line. And that's where we're going to keep it. Ninetales! Wise choice. Let's see. I think having Weather user... First of all, having a base 100 Mon with Fake Out is already pretty good. You know, if you actually look at a lot of the Fake Out Mons, there's super fast things like Liepard, obviously. But yeah, Ninetales is a pretty cool option. I wonder if they'd also give it to Alolan Ninetales. Man, if Alolan Ninetales could mix in, like, Aurora Veil or Fake Out, or even like Ice Shard Policy Proc, that would completely change the game. So this one is definitely leaning over towards being a little bit broken. Anytime you get those weather users that can use Fake Out, which we don't have, that'd be busted. Imagine like Torkoal could use Fake Out. How crazy that'd be. They'd lead like Torkoal and like Hatterene, and they would just Fake Out you with their weather setter. Like that would be absolutely nuts. Yo, the Shinx line. Yo, Luxray getting Fake Out. I think that's what everyone's wanted for the longest time, right? You know, join the likes of Incineroar. I always like to compare Luxray to like a mix of like Incineroar, Arcanine, Landorus, because you know, it doesn't have Fake Out like does Intimidate, and it doesn't have the coverage and the strength that Landorus has but has Intimidate, and it doesn't have the speed that Arcanine has but it has Intimidate. It's the Intimidate user that has a good matchup versus Water Mons, which the three of those don't. So I think mixing and giving it Fake Out, I think Luxray already has such good coverage moves that might actually make Luxray like super tier 1 overpowered, broken, busted. And you guys might have to wait a little bit to see that Luxray video where we showcase the busted Luxray moveset. But Luxray's really good. I think that I'd be willing to try this, and if it worked, if it was beneficial for the game, I'd eat my words. But if not, I would definitely say I told you so. Maractus. Okay. Come on. I mean, it fits so well on it. And since it has bunny origins, is that the joke for Maractus? It would actually make a lot of sense. Okay, Maractus. I think another thing about Maractus is, like, whenever you put a fake out on these already cheese mons, like Maractus gets like first of all, it gets like the big chlorophyll after you, but also it's like a storm drain mon. There's already a bunch of weird things Maractus can do to just like win the game in one turn. It can also just like Dynamax and max over with you, very similar to like Lilligant. So anytime you want to put fake out on those mons that already have so many cheese options, you really do risk like breaking the game. And I would say the less tools that we give Sunroom right now, the better. Because like Venusaur is already really problematic, right? But like imagine if like a Venusaur level Pokemon, which is what Maractus basically is, could use fake out. How much that'd be a rough take. That would be just a rough take to deal with. I think basically the problem with it is if you were to lead Maractus and Torkoal, cool, you could go for after you eruption, right? And the way to beat the after you eruption is to either redirect the Maractus or like fake out the Torkoal. But if Maractus has fake out, they can fake out your fake out user or fake out your follow me user and then just still go for the eruption or burning jealousy or a heat wave. And then that's very problematic, I would say. Especially if both Maractus and the Ninetales that were mentioned earlier got fake out. That'd be kind of nuts. Yeah, this got wise words, liking this. Bam, liked. I think Malamar a great choice. I think it's a great choice. I put a lot of thought into this. Umbreon. That's the new Umbreon VMAX card that's announced in that like Umbreon or like Eevee only set. Umbreon with fake out. See, that would be broken, right? Umbreon's already a Pokemon that's got second at Worlds recently. It's already gotten second at Worlds. And I do think that Umbreon with that would be a little bit nuts. Like, maybe there's not room for fake out, but it's one of those inner focus mons that can't be fake outed already. I think that would break the game. We already see people running Umbreon at a very high level, regardless of it not having fake out. So I think that would kind of break the game. Eevee. All right, so then Eevee getting it would open up a dimension where every single Eeveelution gets it. Jolteon with fake out? No thanks. Sylveon with fake out? Take it back. Sylveon, yeah, wow. I think that would just break the game. See, and what I mean by breaking the game is it would force everyone to use Entity. And if everyone's using Entity, everyone's playing with more redirection, and it just completely changes the game. Like, in the level of, like, Incineroar getting it changed the game back in 2017. Or 2018. I'm sorry, I think I got it midway through 2018. But yeah, Eevee, that'd be a weird choice. I actually think it'd be better to give it to specific Eeveelutions as like that's what you get for getting this one. You know, with like Leafeon got it. I don't know if that'd be as breaking the game. It'd definitely be less breaking the game than like Maractus because it doesn't get after you, even though it's a chlorophyll user. So yeah, we'll see. Malamar's perfect. And Rage Potato says Gallade. Wise choice. I think it's a solid choice. I think Gallade's a great choice. Yeah, the problem I think with Gallade is if they ever bring Megas back, it's an inner focus mon because Mega Gallade does have inner focus, which means it could like avoid a lot of that fake outs themselves or even intimidates if you're already in max or already in Mega mode. And yeah, actually I think it'd be kind of broken on Gallade. I think that might actually low key like break some metas just because you can go like Gallade Whims and you can go fake out Gallade Tailwind and then next turn first of all you're fake outing their fake outer so your Whims guarantee gets a Tailwind up and then next turn you just beat up Justified. That sounds a little bit broken to me. Just a little bit broken. Gallade busted. Passimian. See, this is where I didn't want to lead into. I think Malamar's a good one because it has Contrary, which means like if you ever like Malamar's an abysmal Maxmon. Every time it maxes, it can't use like Max Nuck because it'll get weaker, right? So I think Contrary is balanced in that regard, whereas Passimian might not be great. It might be a little bit too busted because it has straight Defiant. You can't give it to like the Defiant users. And its speed stat's a little bit too high. I think it's a little bit too good. I think we would see the rise of the... Like, what's the reason to ever run an Incineroar again if straight up Passimian outspeeds you, has Fake Out, and is your counter, right? Oh man, that would be really hard to deal with. Oh man, I like this thing. Masquerain. I actually used a Masquerain team back in 2017, maybe even 2018 with like Aerodactyl. And it was like unnerved back when those pinch bears were really, really good. And you were able to go for like, it paired it with Coco or Aerodactyl, right? So it was a Coco Masquerain team. And so what you did was you had the Masquerain for Unnerve and you went for like big Coco with the Tapu Z move to do over 50%. And then the Masquerain finished him off because Masquerain's awesome. And I like this Pokemon. I think it's actually a really cool Pokemon and one that I think it's not in the game, right? I'd use the shit out of this if this was in the game. I don't like this tweet. Bam. Tweet liked. I like Masquerain. They're definitely a cool Pokemon. Any dragon. I don't think any Dragon Mons get Fake Out. No, that can't be true. That can't be true. There's no way that no Dragon types learn Fake Out. There's no way. No way. There has to be one Dragon Pokemon that gets it. One. Kecleon, that's a dragon, right? Dang. Yeah. No dragons. I think we should give it to a dragon. Let's think of a dragon. What would be balanced enough to have it? You can't say any of the pseudo legendaries. You can't. You cannot say any of the pseudo legendaries. You can't say like Hydreigons or Garchomp. You can't say Garchomp. You can't. Oh man, what is a good dragon to get Fake Out? It'd have to be something like a Druddigon, like a single evolution dragon. Can't give it to Goodra. That'd be broken. I think it'd have to be like a Druddigon, a dragon that like is under par. Druddigon, that Toeagumon looking thing. That's my vote. Somebody actually did it. They voted for Charizard. See, like, this is what I meant when I tried to say, like, some people just want to watch the world burn. Like, Charizard already has everything. Like, Game Freak pretty much just funneled all of the good things they could ever give a Pokemon into Charizard. Straight up. He is their money printer. You can't give a Fake Out. You can't do it. You just can't. Similar to the Glade. Fake Out, Tailwind, Sunny Day, end the game, you know? It's already rough getting Fake Out to above base 100 speed bonds. Not that many of them get it. You know, you got the Persian line, you got the Weavile line, the Liepard line, but that's about as busted as you could get. Butterfree. Yes. Give it to Butterfree. I will approve. Butterfree approved. Give it to Butterfree. I think Butterfree deserves Fake Out. Butterfree actually deserves to learn every single move. You know, Butterfree, while we're there, just screw Rage Powder. Just give a Follow Me, you know? Because, like, they're going to hit Butterfree anyways, especially if that's a +1 as the person using it. Oh, what is this? Serena. She needs to learn it. It wouldn't be broken and makes so much sense. And yes, I wrote an essay about it. What? What really stands out on Serena, it's her ability Queenly Majesty, which prevents other priority moves from hitting Serena and her allies. Except from that and her somewhat good bulky stats, her remaining aspects are lackluster. I disagree. Serena's, like, really busted. Her move pool isn't very wide. Her signature move, Trop Kick, lowers the opponent's attack by 1 stage, but with Intimidate Pokemon such as Incineroar being so common, this move gets outclassed. Other options would be other attacks, High Jump Kick, which hardly punishes you if you miss. Lamau. Triple Axle, Play Rough, and Power Whip, all suffering from accuracy problems and U-Turn. She heavily gets outclassed by Pokemon like Mega Lopunny, Rillaboom, Incineroar, etc. She also gets access to Rapid Spin. It's a good move in singles format, but in doubles VGC it's never used. About her status move, she has some options, Helping Hand, Taunt, Light Screen, Reflect, Aromatherapy. Those sound really good, but with her lackluster base 70 speed of 72, which is actually really high in my opinion, for a Fake Out user, other fast Pokemon with Prankster ability also leave Serena behind. Those being Tornadus and Whimsicott for Taunt, Grimmsnarl, Klefki for screens, and Comfey for Aromatherapy. Okay. Okay here, Buster Brown. I actually think that Serena is a good example. Like, this is a good example of someone that, like, really does think they should get Fake Out for XYZ reason. And they have reasons. I think this will break the game. A Fake Out Mon that says, you cannot stop me from Fake Out. I already talked about how the fact, like, Inner Focus Mons with Fake Out would be hard to deal with. They're already hard to deal with. Like, Inner Focus Kang was, like, meta for, like, 2018. It's a really good thing. Saying, I'm a Fake Out and above average speed tier, and your Fake Out can't do anything about it. You can't Fake Out to stop my Fake Out. That's already broken. Serena's already really good. There's so many things it can do. It's not really reliant on High Jump Kick, Triple Axle. Like, one of my favorite teams with Serena was back in, like, 2018. I've won, like, a few tournaments with this thing. It was, like, Trop Kick, which is, I think, so good. You're talking about, like, there's so many Intimidators. Trop Kick is pretty much an Intimidate because you're faster than all of them. So you can apply multiple Intimidates while Serena's being on the board. But it was like Trop Kick. It was Toxic back when that was a TM. Synthesis and Protect. And it just sat on the board and applied attack drops and statuses to people. And I know that can't be really run now, but it's a good example of showing why Serena already has the tools to be really good. Think about 2019 when we saw Serena, and even in Series 8, they just paired it with Ogre. They scarfed the Ogre, a helping hand. That's it. You know, like, you don't need Fake out there. Like, if you had Fake out there, that would be broken. Like, that would be so broken if, like, Serena Ogre could Fake out things. Like, oh my gosh. That would absolutely break the game. I think Serena, it'd be cool if it had Fake out to, like, test it. But, like, you'd get into a position where, like, Serena would be on every single team. And then you'd start, another bad thing about this is, if Serena had Fake out and Serena's on every single team, you'd go for your Fake out with like a different Pokemon, or even your Serena. They'd switch in their Serena, block your Fake out, and then they can't Fake out you back? Are you even running Fake out? Like, if everyone's running Fake out Serena and everyone has a Serena and everyone's running Fake out, you're losing games to like, oh, they switched. I lost on the first turn and now this takes 10 minutes for me to lose slowly. And so that's the type of stuff that, like, I think makes the game unhealthy. It's similar to like a speed tie thing. And also, don't even get me started on speed ties, because if Serenas are on every single team, we'll see Fake outs Serenas, speed ties. I mean, oh my gosh, and then the Serenas will speed tie each other, and they'll be triple axing each other, and you could miss and you could crit, and then that's how you get 2014 levels of like the meta, and the game just isn't fun at that point, in my opinion. So I think this is a great idea, but I think it just doesn't fall through. I don't know when this was written either. They said they wrote an essay, but like, I don't know when this was actually written. So this might have been written before Dynamax, because I think Dynamax would make this would just completely break the game. I think it would break it. I think it would just break it in half. Delphox. See, now Delphox, someone said Charizard, and I was like, broken. It gets every tool that it could ever want. Delphox isn't in the game currently, but I've always thought that Delphox needed just a little bit more. And it always has a couple extra slots in its moves. It has access to screens. It's one of the first Mystical Fire users. Gets like stuff like Trick Room. I've always thought Delphox was cool, and I could be down for that. I could be down for Fake out on Delphox, at least to try it. You know, maybe like Eviolite Fake out Braxian. That'd be busted. If it's Incineroar gets it, I think Delphox can get it. This guy, Politoed. You cannot say Politoed. Like, we just went over this. You cannot give it to weather users. You cannot give Fake out to a weather user with like a not guilty conscience. It's so broken. They lead Politoed Kingdra, and they're like, ha, how does it feel to be dumpstered, right? I mean, the only thing that you would have to check a Fake out Politoed is a Fake out Queenly Majesty Serena, right? Oh, that'd be super broken. The format, also, like, Politoed would be usually EV trained to like outspeed Incin, and then you'd be able to Fake out their Incins and then check their Incins. Like, Politoed already checks Incin, but if it has the ability to Fake out at a higher speed tier than Incin, I really do think that would just absolutely just break the game as we know it. And if the game gets broken because of something like this, that doesn't necessarily just make the game unbalanced. It just makes the way that we play it won't work. We have to learn how to play over again, pretty much. Golisopod. Always gets first impression. Why not give it Fake out? Fake out Mom with built-in eject button could be a unique niche. Also gets like Aqua Jet. One of my favorite things to do with Golisopod is go for like a Swords Dance on the first turn, because people always protect to block the first impression. Now the first impression's on a lot of other mons now. Golisopod might not have the same niche, but you know what? I'd be willing to give this one a shot. I think I would give this one a shot. Golisopod's cool, and it's one of those mons that even if they get super fed and they get like really ahead with Golisopod, I still think that like you might be able to do something here. Yeah, let's say that let's approve. It has 3 likes. Approved. Moxie boosted. Don't end this man's career. Yo, Indeedee. Indeedee. Moxie boosted coming in hot saying it actually does get Fake out, which both Indeedee forms do get Fake out. Then I wish it didn't get Psychic Terrain. It actually gets own tempo and inner focus. I know it gets own tempo, but like, yo, it doesn't have to terrain. Like, oh my gosh. I guess this guy right here, saying Indeedee, it's your lucky day, my friend. One mon you wish got Fake out, it already gets it. I've actually seen a couple non-Psychic Terrain Indeedees where they lead and they don't set Psychic Terrain and then they go for the Fake out, and it's like, oh, it's so good. I've also seen entities set the psychic terrain, and like I'm like, cool, they're gonna follow me, and then they fake out my Zapdos because you remember psychic terrain only affects the grounded mons, so you still can fake out their flyers like Tornadus, Zapdos, Landorus. It's actually kind of tech. Maybe try it sometime. Let me know how it goes. Really? You really think Cinderace should give fake out? Oh, that would suck. This game would suck so much if Cinderace got fake out. So first of all, that's a 119 base speed mon, so like it invalidates every other fast mon besides Weavile that gets fake out, right? So like there's no reason to run Sneasel. I mean, maybe Sneasel still has inner focus, but like Persian line, Liepard line, that completely invalidated now. Like there's no reason to ever really run those in like fake out speed tiers, I mean. And then you go like fake out, you just vest, it would be vest Cinderace show. You'd have like, you would just probably cut, because you still want Pyro Ball, you still want High Jump Kick, you still want Airstream, so you'd probably cut Sucker Punch, or maybe cut like one of those moves, and just have the fake out, and that would be absolutely busted. Like, holy moly, some people just want to watch the world burn. Speaking of people wanting to see watch the world burn, straight up this person says Landorus. No. Stop it. Get some help. Like, no, you know what? This person wants both forms to get it. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna click show replies, but like, no, don't use the F word. No, don't use the F word. I'm gonna veto this one and say that would be stupid. We already see Landorus everywhere. Like, one of the reasons why it's not as bad on Sin is because there's not actually Ensign everywhere. There's every 2 or 3 teams has an Ensign on it, obviously. And also those Ensigns can be built so differently, right? They can be built so differently. They can be built slow, they can be built a little bit fast, they can be anywhere with 12, 20, 28, 36, sometimes up to 60 points in speed. You don't really see Incineroar speed ties that much, and when you do, and someone loses, they're like, I only lost because it showed I intimidated him and that I was faster, and then he won the fake out speed tie. Do you want that happening every game with this Landorus? No, you don't. You do, you really do. They want Arcanine? You can't just give it to Arcanine. I mean, you have Incineroar. Arcanine does not need fake out. It's already good enough. You want the S tier, super triple S tier Arcanine to give fake out? That would just be dumb. I like this one. Incineroar. Yes, I will like this reply. Need a faster fake out. I don't make the rules. You want faster fake out? We got plenty of fake out users. We got Persian, we got Liepard, we got Weavile. If you want a faster fake out, just run full speed Insane. It's better than it looks. It's better than it looks. All right, well, you know what? That was actually a lot longer than I thought. I might make more of these. Show more replies. There's more? Oh my gosh, looks like I'm pretty popular. All right, let's go. Show more replies. Gengar. Huh. Now, see, I could get behind Gengar. Gengar is such a cool mon. I think Sash mons, like, obviously Gengar is like a great mon. I'm surprised no one said Urshifu, to be completely honest. I'm really surprised no one said Urshifu, because that would suck, first of all. But I just thought I'd see it. Gengar would be cool. I think I could see that. Because Gengar already struggles having to find a correct moveset. It could potentially G-Max the turn after. And I don't think giving Gengar fake out would break the game. Because, like, if you fake out a target and they punish you by breaking your Sash or hitting your teammate, you're only still a little bit ahead. And that's what a good measure of a fake out mon is. You shouldn't just say, I lead with fake out and you lose the game no matter what happens. Which is what would happen if, like, Charizard and freaking Serena got it and stuff like that. Like, you don't want the game to just be, I do this and you lose, because there's no counter to that. But there is counter to the Gengar because it's so frail. Doesn't have Levitate anymore. I think it's a good choice. I will approve. I also like Gengar. So we approve. Show additional replies, including those that may contain offensive content. Offensive content. I don't know if these are going to be PG, chat. Let's do it. You're right. This is offensive content. Oh my gosh. Look at that face. I actually think that'd be a great mon to give fake out to. Similar to Incin, similar to Scrafty. I could get behind that. I could totally get behind seeing Surfetched with fake out. That's a great, I approve. I approve this offensive content. Approved. Surfetch. Wise choice. This is probably, I wonder why these both were down here. I wonder what about these two were offensive content. Dude, people just didn't want to get flexed on. That's what it is. Bidoof or Conkeldurr. I think Conkeldurr would be a little bit broke because you could fake out to buy yourself a turn to get a Guts proc. That'd be a little bit busted, I think. Like, Conkeldurr's already better than like a lot of the other fighting types. That'd be a little bit nuts. But Bidoof, I think the Bidoof line could totally get fake out. But Barrel's funny. It's not in the game right now, but that's pretty much it. We looked through a ton of suggestions sent in by you wonderful people on Twitter. Guys, let me know if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Let me know if you have any ideas for questions I should ask on Twitter. And hopefully you guys like this. Let me know if this is something you want to see more of. And other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and peace out.